Good morning.
We're on the boat and it's pretty crazy here. So many people, everyone wants to sell something.
Curry? Cheers.
Cheers. Let's talk about our journey to Banggai.
We started our journey from Bali, so we took the airplane to Makassar and to Luwuk.
And then took a local taxi from the airport to our homestay. And the drive to the homestay was pretty interesting because everything changed. We were used to the Bali environment and now it was...
Bali is like, it's really nice, but you also feel that it's like a lot of the Bali places are set up for tourists. You have these fancy cafes, beautiful restaurants. Of course, you do also have those warungs, which are restaurants for the locals with Indonesian cuisine. But
which
yeah,
are pretty good and cheap.
yes, they are. Still, Bali is like super different to what we've experienced on Sulawesi.
Definitely. I think going from the airport to our homestay in the taxi, we looked outside and we saw the more raw Indonesia. The people didn't have the same standard as on Bali or in the touristy area. We can't talk about the whole Bali because
We've just seen Canggu and Ubud
Yeah.
for now, so that's Bali when we talk about Bali.
staying in the homestay was also very different because you stay with a local family in their house.
Yeah, it's like you get a super cheap, all-inclusive hotel, but it's not a hotel.
Yeah.
It's a homestay. So they cook lunch, they cook dinner, and you're like kind of just part of the people living there. So
Part of the household.
after breakfast, we headed to the harbor, and I think harbor is a funny name because
Yeah.
when I say harbor, I imagine like harbor with big ships. Actually, there are a few ferries, like wooden boats.
Old wooden
Big
boats.
boats, but still, yeah, wooden boats.
Yeah, it was a completely different environment. I was like, I had the thought like this must be how harbors must have looked like and felt like, where people just put like local fruits and everything on the boat and
Eggs,
also people are on the
scooter.
boat. Yeah, everything.
Like, so we boarded onto the ferry an hour before it was our plan to depart because
Yeah.
it didn't depart punctually, but I think that's just kind of
the way
Asian
here, yeah.
island life. Within this 1.5 hour, we were sitting on the ferry on our, like, I don't know, we didn't have a seat. It's like you have these
This
bed.
kind of bed, like, yeah.
So there's like lower bed and upper bed area.
Yeah, a lower deck and an upper deck.
Yeah.
And in the middle there are beds, and all around the beds are like place to put stuff like scooters and bags of fruits and everything. So we were in the middle, the only white people, everyone was watching us. It must
Interesting.
Yeah, famous people must feel like this. Everyone looks at you, some take pictures and
They ask you questions and you
Yeah.
answer, and they, like, all of them just laugh, and you're like,
Okay.
What did I do?
I wasn't
But
funny.
I don't care. During this 1.5 hour, we were waiting for our ferry to depart. There were people coming onto the boat and they were trying to sell stuff. I saw a lady and her kid with donuts. I saw
Some woman.
shakes.
Yeah, the avocado shakes.
Yeah,
with,
like they had different fruit shakes.
Yeah.
They were like just trying to sell stuff. Also, there was a girl calling nasi, nasi,
Yeah,
which means rice.
Rice, yeah.
So she was just like selling plain rice. And when this shake woman come over to us, I wanted to tell her, I don't, thank you, I don't drink shakes, I have water. And like a few minutes later, another woman came over
by.
to us and like she said, "You want like
You want water?"
cold water?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll have one." So it
So
was like
friendly and
super
so
super
nice.
fun. The ferry was quite a while, but we watched some episodes on Netflix.
The others were sleeping around us. It was very nice, and I think it was kind of comforting because it was so open. The wind was coming through, so
Like
it
you
was.
felt the breeze.
Yeah, it was a light breeze, and it was just like the motor was rumbling around, and it was calming. So I know why people are sleeping in this boat.
It reminded me a little of the movie Titanic when Leonardo DiCaprio showed Rose Winslet like the lower deck, where
yeah.
he and like his buddies are, and I think it kind of felt this way. But anyway, then we landed in Leme Leme. So from Luwuk there are boats going to different parts of Banggai Islands. Ours took us to Leme Leme. So in Leme Leme it was super fun because we got outside and it was like obviously that white people are super special.
Yeah.
Not like super special, but it's rare for white people and tourists to come here.
And then we got off the boat, and one guy was to me like, "Do you need a rental car? And do you need scooter and everything?"
Then our drive took us about, I think it was almost about 2 hours or so to our homestay. Yes, also this homestay is like a super cool place to stay because like the family, except the son of the family who picked us up, who speaks English quite well. They barely speak English, so they are super, super kind. And the food is amazing. It's a menu. You have like so many different kind of things and foods, and there's fresh fish. There's always something with an egg. I think every day there's something with chicken. There's of course rice, nasi, and mie, that's noodles. There's also something sweet, and we do have water. So I think they buy these big water bottles. We can like just fill up our bottles.
Yeah, also in the last homestay it was the same. And some hotels have like free drinking water.
Yes, but
so
not
you
all
don't
of them.
have to buy always water, which is very, very practical.
So the location of the homestay is also super nice because it's just right around the corner of the Paisu Pok Lake, which is like the spot in town or in village. And like the people here are so cute. They're so helpful.
And
no
so
matter,
friendly.
Yeah, no matter like how good or bad their English is. Yesterday we've been at this lake. We just asked them for some coconuts and there were no coconuts left. So they sent this one guy just out of the palm tree and he picked a few coconuts and opened
Fresh
them
coconuts.
Yes, and opened them for us.
Yeah.
And they got us some straws and later like they cut it open so we could eat it. Then there was this one guy who came here
Who bought all the coconuts before.
He came back and he wanted to take a picture with me. Then he gave us like 3 coconuts. So it's like in one piece. And so we carried it back home and everyone was like laughing.
In the evening we did a walk through the town, saw the church and the
Kids
volleyball area.
Yeah, all the kids were like kind of curious but shy, so they were like, hello.
So cute.
Yeah,
So
super
cute.
cute. And also today in the morning I had a walk because like in the morning between, I don't know, 6 and 7 a.m. I usually get up and then I have a walk because it's just 24 degrees or so. So I had a walk around the road. Everyone was like honking to me and it means like hi. Or they even said like good morning in Indonesian. And one guy, he stopped with the scooter and he was pointing at his bag. So I guess he offered to take me back home, which is like super, super cute. So overall, I think it's, the rawest we've seen from Indonesia. It's super nice. It's not yet that touristic.
But it really has a big potential to be very touristic.
Yeah, I think it might become, I don't know, maybe like Bali in 5 or 10 years, so I'm not sure about that.
I don't think so because there's no airport. I did a little bit of research. The lake was established for tourism in 2019. The roads here were built like the year before, so it's everything fresh, and even power wasn't that greatly available till 2023.
By the way, the electricity, there's like...
It's just for lights.
Yeah, so there's no AC because like it's just too small.
No
It's
big
too-
kitchen appliances like a dishwasher or even a water cooker or water boiler is available because there isn't that much energy. I also read the power goes out very often and stays out for a long time because like the power lines are very free here.
For everything you don't have here, you need the ferry. So with living here, you're like really...
Depending on the ferry and boats.
Yeah, like the infrastructure is just not here yet. So that's just our impressions of this part of Banggai, which is Penang Island, and tomorrow we're heading to Salakan, and after a few days in Salakan we're heading to Banggai Laut, and I think we'll see you there.